All right, hey guys, welcome to the stream where we're working on our ancient medieval Egyptian city. So yeah, hopefully we're not going to break the computer today, but I've got plenty of things that are going to be working on. So yeah, we'll just see how this goes. Just going to make sure that this is all working and streaming. All right, cool. Nah, looking good. So we're trying out a few new things. So streaming this one to Facebook as well today. So we'll see how that goes too. But hopefully there'll be no disasters. All right. So yeah, let's have a look what we're going to do. If I open up Blender, yeah, this is where we're kind of at with things from the previous week. So I'm going to go down here and just start a little render going. Yeah, we'll just see how this goes. Sorry to setting everything up, guys. All right, got Nathan behind the scenes, just making sure everything's going all good. Just yeah, getting this streaming on Facebook as well as Twitch and everything. Oh, hang on, making sure everything is working nicely for you guys. So hopefully it is. So this is kind of where we got to with things. So yeah, and if anyone sort of news tuning in, I guess we're going from thumbnail. You know, really quick thumbnails in Photoshop right through to designing, being in 3D Code, all sorts of stuff. Now we're kind of in Blender and just, you know, making this, you know, starting to get into more of the nitty gritty details and tightening things up and making something really, you know, really cool. So we've still got a fair bit to go in this one, but yeah, but kind of working on that. Now I did want to start off by doing like a little demo that's something a little bit different here. Because I have done this a couple of times and I just want to like explain some of the like kind of concepts that are going on in Blender. Now every time I've done this little demo it's been, you know, kind of helpful. So yeah, I thought I'd just do this right really quickly. So I want to kind of show quickly how to do like the materials and kind of like displacements and things and how that kind of works, and just for people to kind of get their head around, because I feel like there's still people who are kind of working on this stuff. So I'm just going to make a little plane here, and that's just going to be our ground, right? Nice and easy. And then we've got a little, you know, gigantic alien rock, right? That it's going to be. So yeah, pretty amazing, very simple, but you know, let's kind of do this so it's working. All right, so all right, yeah, and if you got any questions, just let me know in the chat and stuff, and yeah, more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Still getting used to some of this software here, so just, yeah, like I said, just make sure everything's kind of working smooth. So if it's not, let me know. All right, so what I want to do here is basically just add a material to this, and I'm just going to bring in the Quixel bridge app. Let's just go later and hope this is going to work. So there is a bit of a process of getting this to like set up with Blender, but just YouTube You know, that's all I did. It was easy. If I could work it out, you guys could work it out, right? So what I'm going to do really quickly is I need to go File, Import, Megascans plugin and turn that in. So you just like search for the Megascans plugin on YouTube and you'll be able to work out how to sync this up. There's a good video about it, like shows that straight away when you search on YouTube. So we just turn it on basically. Every time you load up Blender, you got to turn that little plugin on. And yeah, I'm just gonna let's just export out this jagged rock to Blender, and hopefully it's going to come up, you know, exported successfully. And let's just do like this guy here, and export that out. Yep, there as well. All right. And so let's export those out. It's pretty cool. And then all I want to do really is add this material to this plane here. So I just go into the materials tab, and rather than just clicking new, like if I click new, basically what it's going to do is down here. So we just need to change this to the shader editor. So we just click on that one, and basically it's going to import like a, or not import, it's going to make it like a new texture, right? But we don't want that one. We want to use this like Quixel Megascans awesome photogrammetry texture goodness, right? So basically what we do is you just click on this little drop down menu here, and it will have those new ones. So stone, you know, the moist stone, right? And essentially just going to add that onto my plane, right? That's all I need to do. So nothing happens here because we're just in the solid mode. So if I change that over to like the material kind of texture mode, there we go, you can have it. And basically, like, you know, it's put this ground thingy in here, right? So which is really cool. Now, what happens when you just import these Quixel Megascans kind of textures in is that the setup's like not quite right. So you just kind of need to do a few things. So at the moment, I can't control the size of the texture. So I just need to add in 2 new nodes here. And just remember, guys, don't freak out about this. It's like easy. Just like look exactly what I'm doing. Do a screenshot of this. Just make it like that. It's pretty easy. We've just done one click. All I'm going to do then is Shift A. Shift A will then, I can type in texture, and it'll add in this texture coordinate node, and I go Shift A, search, and type in mapping. There's actually a little shortcut to do this, but you know, let's not do that just yet. I'll just show you the way that you kind of do it, right? So we just add that in, and then I just need to connect all of these vectors up to the vector. And then what this will allow us to do is control the scale of the texture. So if you don't really need to do that, then it will sort of like work okay just as is. But you know, 99 times out of 100, you have to change that around. So we need to fix that. Now, the other thing that we need to do is we need to kind of attach this normal map into the bump map. That'll give it like the bump as well. So it's pretty cool. So nothing's really changing yet. I'll explain why as we kind of go along, but we've got this set up, so this is cool. Now what I want to do, let's just do the same setup for this guy here. So we just get a material, we just change it to this Iceland rock, right? And then we just go Shift A, Shift A, Shift A, and sorry, doing 3 things at once. Mapping. All right. Shift A. Texture. Cool. And we just add that guy in. Yeah, and all right. So then basically we just plug that texture in here. We just do the same thing. So we just connect up this texture coordinate to the mapping generated into there, and then we connect up all these vector ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is. We'll just move these around so we can see these a little bit better. Alright, let's put that there, put that one there, stick that one there, connect up this normal to the bump. Alright, and then basically we've got this kind of working. Now you can see here we get a bit of a problem with this one, right? So the problem when we connect this up like this is that it's like all kind of stretched and stuff. So what we need to do is we basically want to like you know, texture it so it's like a 3D box. So at the moment you'll see that all of these options here all say flat. It's a bit hard to see, isn't it? They say flat. So basically if I hit A on the keyboard, they'll select all the nodes. And then what you do is hold down Alt and change that to box, and it will change all of these to box, right? And you can see now that that, you know, now this is working, right? So now it kind of looks like it's texturing it properly in kind of like a cube. So Bradley, do you suggest a way to learn Blender nodes? It's a bit confusing. Yeah, just keep doing this, right? So that's why I thought I'd go over this, because it's, you know, just like really kind of, we've got a plane and a cube and just two materials, and just kind of go over how this is like working, right? So I just thought I'd explain it. I'll make this really big so that if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, like that's kind of that's the setup, right, that you want to use for these like materials. Now the other thing we want to do is I want to add displacement to this stuff. So basically we want to like make this like really cool, right? So this is where using this technique is like super awesome. So I want to do two things. One, I want to control the scale of the texture, and two, we're going to like add some displacement, right? So let's go back to the ground plane. So you just click between them and it goes to the different material down here, right? So just click between them, and then what we want to do here is I want to control the scale of the texture. Typing it into this box is kind of a bit confusing, you know. It's a bit easier to kind of do it visually, right? So a really easy way to do, not easy, this is sort of technical. I find this is the most technical bit, but just bear with me because it's really good once you get it to work. So if you go Shift A and we make a cube, right? So we've got that cube here, we just drag it over here. Let's just make it whatever, right? And then we come over to this texture here. Essentially what we want to do is we want to make the scale of the cube control the scale that's on the plane. A little bit confusing, I know, because it's a bit disconnected, but you get it right. So if you just pull out this, so nothing's now connected, so it's all going to disappear. We want to make the object the controller of the scale, right? So we put object into vector, and then basically what we do is we use a little like color picker and we select the cube, right? Select the cube, and this is going to go crazy, right? So, but now what I can do is when I click on the cube and I hit S, that'll control the scale of the texture. How awesome is that? So you can do like that kind of stuff, right? And we can like not render, oops, we can not render this cube. Like we can turn it off from the render, so it kind of won't be there, right? But it's like really cool because we can control the scale of that texture there, right? So that's cool. Now if I turn on, let's turn on, so basically like we're in Eevee here, which is cool. And the next thing I want to do is like the displacement of things. So let's just grab this light, kind of just pull it up and just make it a bit kind of cooler so we can see what's going on. Select the light, just make it like 10,000. All right, and now we've got, you know, something going on here. So we've got a ground and that, and then if we turn on, we're going here to our little TV screen and we change that to cycles, right? Then it will give you this really, really kind of like nice little, you know, render of things. So pretty cool. So now we've got like two materials, got our cube and our plane, and now we want to start making this like really awesome. So let's go to what are we going to do here? I want to select my plane, all right? And then what I want to do is I want to make this like kind of displace. So displacement means it's going to push the mesh up and down, like instead of you like having to model everything, it will sort of do it for us. What I might do first, right, is like let's go tab, All right, and so we've got one plane that this is on. Just right click and subdivide, right? And just subdivide a few times, maybe something like that. And I come back in here, right? It's in kind of rendered mode. So, but yeah, don't stress out, be fine. And let's just select like a few of these faces in here, whatever, you know, something like that. Doesn't really matter. And we're just gonna move them up. So it's just got a bit of, right? Just got a bit of a mountain mound in there. All right, go out tab, there we go. Wow, amazing. But you can see how like powerful this could kind of be, right, in terms of making stuff look pretty cool that you can then paint over and stuff in Photoshop. So now what we want to do is, once again, a little bit of a trickier thing, we're going to add some displacement on here. So we want to select this bump. It doesn't actually really matter which one of these, but any of them. Shift D will duplicate, just like we're duplicating an object in Blender, and then I connect that to the vector. I go Shift A and search and make a displacement node, and I put that one here, move this one over here, add this into the height, color into the height, displacement goes into displacement. That's pretty easy. And then it sort of did a little bit of something, but it didn't do much. Now what you need to do is in the material, right, now this won't work in Eevee. You can only do this in cycles. So the displacement stuff will only work in cycles. But I will show you why it's really cool in a sec. So when we come down to here, we go down to settings. So I'm in the material settings, and then at the moment it will say bump only. We want to say displacement and bump. All right, and it goes like this. Whoa. Okay. Now all that's happening here is just we need to adjust the scale of the displacement. So let's go 0.1. All right, let's go like 0.3. And can you guys see what's sort of happening? So it's displacing this. Now, what we'll kind of want to do is add more subdivisions to the surface to get more displacement, right? So once again, we could control, so maybe with this cube here, we can grab this and we can control the scale, like of the little pebbles that are on the ground, right? And yeah, you can do whatever you want, right? And that's gonna kind of control all of these things here. Now let's go back to our little cube here, right? It's now a rectangle, all right? And let's do the same thing. So you just do the same thing. All right. We just making sure we're working everywhere, looking good. All right. Yeah, with this, what we want to do is do another displacement. So we just do Shift D. All right, grab that. Oh, actually, hang on a minute. I made a mistake over here, didn't I? Let's actually add the displacement in there. So yeah, and I'll show you this again. So basically just click on the little folder and we just want to add in the displacement XR file. There we go. And now that's like displacing better. So that's cool. Not better at the moment because I've got to adjust the settings, but we'll do it on, we'll like 0.1. All right, we'll do it on this. We'll do it on this, this awesome alien rock that we're going to make in a second, right? And it'll make more sense. All right. So once again, let's go back to here. And let's make a little controller. So let's go Shift A, Mesh, Cube, G, smooth that over there somewhere, you know, off the thingy. All right, go back in here, click on the cube, turn that off from generated here. All right, object, put the object into there. All right, object, color pick, it's this one. All right, and then we click on this and we can control the scale. It's pretty cool. So sometimes I'll find it's a bit easier to go in the texture version, just to be like, oh, I'm just controlling the texture, making that a particular size, right? And then what you want to do is we go back into here. Let's go into cycles now, because now we've got, you know, the scale of that texture is okay, whatever, for our little made up thing here. It's just a stupid little thing. But so then we just want to pull the vector into here, right? Remember, need to change this to the displacement. So you just click on that folder and it automatically goes to the folder where the textures are. You just click on displacement.exr, and that's cool. That'll do its thing. Let's go like open image, and then we go Shift A, search displacement. displacement. All right, drag this color into height, and then we just plug it into here. Oh, there we go. It's doing a little bit of stuff because it's just doing the bump. We go down to the settings and we change that to displacement and bump, right? And it does this, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. All right, I don't know what's, and we're going to make it like heaps, and it's going to sort of work, but not quite. All right. Now, oops, the reason why that is not working is because it has no geometry to displace against just yet. Because really, this is just those. If we go like this, it's just those like faces. It's just that. Like if we go back here, right? Okay, so what we need to do is hit L, that'll select all that. Let's like subdivide. So subdivide this like a few times, something like that, maybe even like that, right? And now if we go back into our rendered mode, you will see that this is displacing like crazy, and whoa, look at this. We are starting to get, all right, we're starting to get something that's going to work pretty cool, right? So I don't know, 0.1, right, 0.3. Yeah, and you can obviously muck around with this until your little heart is content. And then you can change the scale of the texture. You know, that's going to change like how it's displacing, right? Does that make sense? Really cool. So you can create like, you know, awesome alien rocks, you know, with this. So if we go into like, let's go out of rendered mode for a sec, go into like tab, you know, and then we could just, I don't know, whatever. Like you could grab this and, you know, oops, let's do X-ray mode. Grab this, right, and like move it, you know, and you do whatever you want. Let's make it something like really extreme. All right, and you could obviously like subdivide other bits and everything, you know. Go back in here, go into the displacement thing, right? You can see that, yeah, it's just gonna, you can do whatever you want. So maybe change this to like 1 and see what happens, right? It's like stretching here because we just like, we've only got, you know, a couple of edge loops going around through there, right? So what you can then do, so the next step, which is stuff that I haven't showed in the other image in the stream, is that you can then say add, we're going to try and not break Blender here, but you can add a subdivision surface, right? And you can see here, like as I ramp this up with the subdivisions, this is going to look even more realistic. Yep, so you can kind of keep going and you can do it till it breaks. We're already up. Yeah, let's make that like 3. And then it's going to be like exponentially kind of get more polys and stuff. But what can kind of be cool is like, if you know the kind of shape that you want to do or whatever, you can kind of like leave these, you can, you know, kind of hide these subdivision stuff or do them right at the end. And then your things like not quite so heavy, and you can do all sorts of things. But that's how you can do all this, like, you know, kind of crazy, awesome, organic sort of stuff. So I guess like for weeks I've been going over sort of this more like a more kind of building, you know, doing building blocks and things. But this is sort of what you can do. So yeah, if we go down here and we add like a subdivision, subdivide. Yeah, do you see how like they made it even more realistic just from that? Just the way it sort of like curves and transitions, and then you can muck around with like the displacement and stuff. Scale 0.5, like, and that's going to go crazy. 0.05. Yeah, and see, look at that. So now we're getting all these. Yeah, everything's just displacing a little bit, right? So make that like 4. You just got to find that real little sweet spot, and the more you subdivide it, the more realistic it will look. But yeah, that was just like, and you can see I'm just moving around cycles. It's handling it fine. I don't even think I'd change this over to like GPU, right? So swap that over. It's going to work even a little bit faster. Can sort of move around, and there we go. Yeah, I mean, this is just crazy. So cool. So like, yeah, there's a couple of paintings that I've done, you know, kind of using this technique. Yeah, and even sort of like bringing stuff into 3D coat, or sorry, even making stuff in 3D Coat and bringing that into Blender, you could do that. But like the more you kind of learn about the subdivision, the displacement and the modeling, the more you kind of just like, well, I don't even really need to make these bits in 3D Coat because they're just getting, like, I can start to learn, like I can learn how to start to control the details just from the displacement and kind of what's going on. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So like once again, I think is it that controller there? So we can make that bigger, and that's going to make it less like crazy bumps everywhere, right? So if I make it smaller, sorry, yeah, I should probably like oh, do we have that subdivision on? I'm out of please don't break, please don't crash. So as I drag this down, we're going to get like more bumpy, you know, kind of surface because it's like shrinking the texture down. So it's going, I want to displace it kind of more. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, guys, because yeah, it's really cool, right? Super powerful with what you can do. So yeah, so I just thought that's a nice little simple way to do that, right? Or sort of to show this process of using like the materials, using the nodes, and then creating like, you know, really interesting shapes with the displacements. So yeah, I kind of like, once we get this other painting done, we'll move on to doing, you know, maybe something more organic. And like I want to, you know, some other things I really want to show is like maybe doing like spaceship designs and all sorts of stuff. Been working on tons of that as well, and learning more about like texturing, UVing, and I've been doing interiors and shop fronts and following along with lots of tutorials and learning myself and adding little bits and pieces to things. Really cool, really fun. It's really I'm enjoying this workflow. Let's close that one down. Don't save. Although, however, it's kind of looking pretty cool. But yeah, so let's go back to this. Yeah, I want to try and do some. Let's try and do some fun stuff today. I might even talk about like some hair particle systems and how you can like scatter things. And we're going to do maybe some trees and stuff. So I downloaded. I just went on like Sketchfab and downloaded a little palm tree. So we'll get some palm trees. How about we just put it in there now instead of talking about it? So I just let's just open that up. I'm going to this mode here. Let's paste that in. I don't know where it went. There it is. He's down there. All right. So let's try and get that scale working. Yeah, I guess it could be about like that. All right, and let's. Oops, hang on. Where'd I just move that to? That was not helpful. Whoa. Uh-oh. I know what's going on. Hang on. Oh, let's go on here and then. What is it? Control A. Let's go rotation and scale. Right, and then let's hope this thing. Hey, there we go. So we just reset the rotation and the scale of this element here. Cool. Yep, cool. Yep, keen to learn about scattering. Okay, we'll do that. Shall we do it now? Let's do it with this. Oh, it's a bit hard. Yeah, I can just do it one thing. We'll just do it one tree, but we can add. We can do some more. Anyway, so now the reason why I started with this like palm tree down over there is because like I want them to all be the same scale, right? Or relatively speaking, the same scale. So yeah, and then I just need to, let's go back to camera, right? And I'm thinking about, so we've got a stack of distance here, you know, that we probably can move. I'm going to get some boats in here and stuff as well. I was kind of thinking. I want to kind of get a bit more room. Maybe we're going to make like a harbor here as well. Yeah, we're going to get crazy. Going to get crazy with this. I'm sure it's going to break the stream at some point. It's going to, you know, I'm way too ambitious with what we've got going on. All right, need to just keep moving this back over here somewhere. All right. So I want to get this because I remember I've got my thumbnail here, and I want to have these guys in the foreground. So yeah, we're still ways away from that. We may need to like move the camera down and stuff as well, right? So well, let's just get it. This is that thing where it's like it's a pain in the butt because it's like I've got this, but then I want to move the camera, so then it's going to mess, you know, where this is, everything. Anyway, you get the idea. Let's just select our camera here and tool, item tool, view, lock camera to view. Right, we want to do that, and let's just start trying to get this a bit better. Yeah, but I'm maybe maybe what have I got in the camera settings here? Camera. Yeah. All right. So let's grab this guy. Lock camera to view. Let's just move him around. Oh, move it forward a little bit. The camera. Want him kind of. Probably still need to be down the ground a little bit more. This always takes like a fair bit of mucking around, right? Camera to view. Yeah, I still won't be able to see water. Want this guy closer to us. And we'll set up, you know, I was going to show you, remember how to set up like multiple cameras and stuff as well. I'll just turn my Facebook off. I'm sure you guys can hear that beeping. Yeah, I was going to set up like some multiple cameras and things as well, right? So we can do some different shots. Let's put it across. I don't know, just for now, I just data this exact, I guess. Alright, so yeah, I mean, something like this, sort of in the side. It's a bit crappy there, but anyway, we'll get that. I might need to, maybe what I might need to do is add some other rocks and things so we can get a bit of height and just get a nicer silhouette and stuff, but whatever. We're doing this to do like the scattering and things, right? So yeah, I've always so this is like probably you'll need to like write this down, you know. That's how I kind of tend to try and learn that some of these more like, you know, complicated things when you're doing them in Blender, which is like, yeah, there's like a 25-step process. So we'll do it now, right? Hopefully this thing's not like crazy heavy and we can be okay. I think we're sort of okay, so let's see how we go. So all right, what do I want to do? You know what, let's go like this. Let's duplicate this. So normally I'll do these like particle systems with a few different items, so we could have some smaller trees, some bigger trees, all that kind of stuff, but we, you know, whatever, we'll fake it, right? So I'm just going to go Shift D. All right, let's go escape. Let's go Command M for mirror. All right, and just so I hit Command M and then I'm hitting X and just mirroring it along the X. All right, just click that, and then we've got, you know, another one of these palm trees, right? God, yeah. Shift right click and then hopefully it will sort of rotate around that a bit better. All right, so we've got that guy. Let's just move it forward, and I'm just going to like scale it down. It's like a little bit dodgy, but anyway, whatever. Just so we've got like 2 palm trees here, right? Yay, amazing. All right, so now what I want to do is we're going to select this guy and this guy, and right click and move to collection. Oh, right click, move to collection. new collection. All right, and let's call it palms 1. Okay. All right, and basically what they'll do is it will move it kind of like, yeah, into a collection here. We've got too many things. Collections are good because then you can, like Photoshop, where you can just boop, all right, just hide the kind of group and you can have heaps of stuff in there. So now we've got like a collection with like palm trees in here. All right. All right, so now let's go to all the fancy stuff. What do I want to do? Let's go to particle systems and we're going to click plus and let's call this palms 001. All right, and what we're going to click on like this. Where do we want to? Let's click on this one here, right? Let's click on this one. So we should have done that first. So rookie mistake. I don't even know what I was clicked on then. I should probably undo that. Anyway. So we need to be selected on the piece of land here in this case that we want the trees to be on, right? So let's go do it there. Let's go back to particle system, new. We'll just in case I'll stuff that other one up. Palms 002. I don't know where I was making the particle system on. And we want to change that to hair. All right, and you're going to see this kind of business is going to start to happen. All right, this is good. This is good. We're heading in the right direction. All right. Then we want to click advanced. Okay, click advanced. Then what we want to do is we want to, we've made our collection of the palm trees. So we go down to, I haven't done this for a while, so I forget what I got to do. We go down to render and we basically want to select the collection. So render as collection. Then the collection here, we choose that as palms 1. All right, and then this has all changed to palm trees, right? So that is pretty cool. So we're on the right track. Now then I go to rotation. We turn that on, and we want the rotation to be the Z. I'm guessing the up and down, up and down. Let's hope so. All right, and then what we can do is we can come here and we can muck around with the scale here. So we want to make these trees that right scale. So what are they? So let's go 001. No, they're bigger than that. So they're 0.7. No, and we got some problems with the rotation. So it's not that one. It's Y. Just make X. X, yeah, that looks kind of better. Cool. Hey, we got some palm trees. Let's render this in cycles. Oh no, Blender is gonna die. Okay. So and then what we can do is let's go back to the particle system here. Sorry, not finished yet. What we can do is we can do randomize, so we can kind of you can do that, right? But that's not very useful, right? That's not useful for this. So that could be useful for if you're doing rocks and things where you want to rotate them around and stuff, which is really cool. But for the trees, we've got to kind of keep them straight up and down, yeah? And then what we might want to do is we want to muck around with the scale randomness. So let's do that, right? And what that's going to do is going to have some big ones and some small ones and some tall ones and some skinny ones, right? And it's gonna, yes, do that. Now, to me, the scale looks kind of way too big as well, because remember how big we were making that before. So let's go back, make it 0.5. That's looking pretty close. Let's maybe go 0.4. All right. So that is pretty cool. Yeah. They're in the water though. So we got some problems. Now I have done this pretty crazy with some I was going to say some paintings, but not really paintings, some Blender work where, so you've got the number here and you can make this let's make it, if we crash and my computer blue screens, I apologize in advance, right? This may happen. If let's make this 10,000. Oop, hang on. Let's make that 10,000. Oh boy. It's fine in this kind of mode. But yeah, I mean, you can do it. I've done it with plants. I made it like 100,000 and it like works fine, right? So anyway, we'll go back to this in a sec. Let's just make that like 1,000 again, whatever you want to do, right? And then what you can do is, now I'm not super great on the kind of like weight painting stuff, but we can, we'll work that stuff out. But we want to do a little bit of stuff here. We want to make it so that these are like not going into the water, so we can do that. So basically, we kind of want to make these trees like kind of come out from an object. So we're basically going to make them come out from, like, radiate around this kind of like building here for now, right? So let's try doing that. So let's try doing that. All right, so what we want to do is we want to kind of go in, do some like weight painting stuff. So this can be a bit tricky. Again, we're sort of stacking things on top of each other, but pretty good at the moment. So let's go into the vertex groups, and we want to, oh hang on, what we need to do is we need to click on the ground and go into edit mode. So we need to go into edit mode there. Now you can see, do you remember before in the demo, like that real early on demo, how I was showing you guys that if you use the subdivision modifier, that'll get the ground looking more realistic. So you don't want to kind of go crazy on the subdivisions in Blender, because you can just do it with like kind of a like filter, like a modifier afterwards, right? And that will make it way easier to work with. So if I kind of do all that stuff now, it's forever going to be like chugging along. So I just need to trust that that stuff will look good when I go to like finally rendering it. So I tend to like, let's not worry about that, just yet. So I could even lower some of the subdivisions on here, but for whatever, it's fine. So we're going to edit mode, and then we want to create like a new vertex group. You're doing this right if it lets you change this. So yeah, palms 002, I think it was. So if you didn't go in edit mode, it won't let you change the name of the vertex group, and like, oh whoops, I've got to go into edit mode. So we do that, and then we click assign. All right, and then what I do is if I go control tab, weight paint. If you go control tab weight paint and this turns red, once again, all going well. So then basically you can go back into object mode, and you can do that however you want. You can go alt tab, all that kind of stuff. Go into object mode, and then we want to go to the modifiers. So go into modifiers, and we add a modifier, and it's vertex weight proximity. All right, so go into vertex weight proximity. Oh, too many things going on here. And basically what you want to do is you want to select the target object. All right, so we select the target object, which we want like the things to basically spawn out of this building here. Makes no sense. It'll make sense in a bit. All right, so we want to choose that, and then we select the vertex group, which is the palms, and that all makes sense, right? In the so distance, in the distance we want to change this to be geometry. Now I think what we need to do is, like in the modifiers, we need to move this to the top of the stack, otherwise it won't work. So if we just move this up here, all right, we do that, and then now sometimes this, let's try this like 50, and try this 500, and try this 0. I can never get this to work, but it'll work later. What was it? Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll fix it up in a sec. So this will basically be the way we control this to like so it doesn't go into the water kind of thing. So then I go back to the particle system, And then what I want to do is I want to go into the Vertex Groups, which is this tab here, and we want to, in the length, we want to add in our palms, right? Now it worked. Okay, so what I did is like the settings that I changed before, we'll go back, right? So you can see, because you've got to go back and kind of change this. So in this modifier, this vertex weight proximity one, it's basically saying like the lowest one is at like 50, so we can make that 100 and they'll, you know, kind of come out. We can make, let's go 50, and then the highest one is like 30, and you can start like kind of playing around, like go 100, and oh, they're like going the wrong way. So that's how I always know. So then I'll be like, it's 100 here and this one's like 5, right? And then you just sort of change this to like, you know, whatever you want it to be, right? So the lowest is 30, yeah, 50, you know, right? You guys get the point. So you can kind of muck around with this. Yeah, so that's what you can kind of do. Play around with that until, oops, until you're kind of getting it to work, something that you're happy with, you know, and you can kind of, yeah, scatter these things around. Now, like I said before, this works really well with like multiple things, so rocks and plants, and you can add more things into the group, and it will keep, yeah, it'll keep doing stuff. English today. Let's go. Oh, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go shift. Let's just shift right click, shift A, mesh, cube. All right. Let's add a cube. All right. And then what cube is that? Oh my god, now we got to find this cube. Oh, this is, let's like call this cube something else. Palm cube. Did I call it Pam cube or palm cube? Let's move you up. How do I go up? Uh-oh. Move inside. No, I want to like take it out. Move. Hang on. What about if I do it? Because I basically want to add a cube into here. So just go. Surely I can just. Let's call it. I'm just trying to move this around so we can get it to. Let's call it B cube, because it goes like alphabetically, right? So let's go up here, right? And let's move our B cube into this collection, and voila, right? Does that make sense, guys? So then, like, yeah, you can put whatever you want in the collection, and it scatters it through the like hair particle system. Oh my gosh, so cool. Pretty cool. So you can do that with rocks, or you could have like different size palms, and also, you know, download whatever you want, put it in a collection, and you can go like, you know, kind of crazy. So what I was going to do was I was going to make some little like buildings, you know, like for those of you that were in the stream like last week, I was talking about making some little houses and things to contrast against these really big buildings. And then basically you can do the same thing. You can put these inside the particle, you know, in a particle system, and you can scatter them around, and voila, you've got like a instant, you know, city buildings and stuff, right? So yes, pretty cool. That's pretty nifty. So man, I must be getting really old. Hey, I just said nifty. Let's like render it in cycles really quick and see. Render it in cycles really quick. Those things don't go together. Oh yeah, but do you guys get the point? It's really cool. That's the point, that it's awesome. So you can see that this is what's going to start giving it all life and stuff, right? We're going to add in, you know, rocks. We're going to add in the palm trees. We're going to add in the little buildings. We're going to finish texturing up those big buildings, all of that type of stuff. You know, it's a pretty long process, but like we're going to have something really kick-ass at the end. yeah, which is very cool. So does anyone have any questions about that? You know, did particle system stuff make sense? Once again, we're putting these videos up on YouTube and stuff. I think I forgot to put last week's one up, but I'm pretty sure you can still watch that back on Twitch. Like, so I've got, if you go on our YouTube channel, we've got like the whole process of this. So yeah, once again, you can go through, you know, take those notes, you know, pause the pause the videos when you're like, oh, what happened there, and rewind it, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, obviously you can see here, like, it's gonna look awesome, right? It's starting to get some beautiful light hitting these trees, some in shadow, you know, some in the light, all that kind of stuff. Very cool, very cool. And then I've just, yeah, I've got this set up to render like 500 cycles here, so it's, you know, going to take a little bit, but we're not bothered about that at the moment. So what I might do is I still wanted to like build some elements in here. So we'll kind of work on that. There's still a fair bit of like building and stuff that we're going to kind of do. So let's just get out there. I'm just going to save as, and let's save it as like another version here. But yeah, that's kind of some of the particle system stuff, which is very cool with our cubes. All right. So let's go out of here, and I really did want to kind of clean up these things, these buildings that I did, and I had some other stuff that I kind of wanted to make. Now, did I have? Yeah, I had some reference. I had some reference here, so I was kind of like, it'd be cool to just put some of this kind of stuff together. I think just gonna look at my reference really quick. Yeah, maybe, you know, something like that. Just for that nice little kind of building at the front, I think would be good. So yeah, let's maybe do something like this. I'm just going to put this over here on my other screen. And I think what I'll do is, I think it's really, it does make it a little bit easier when you just like new, actually let's go into those castle parts. That's what I had, didn't I? So let's make all these like little props separately. So these are the ones we kind of did last week. Once again, we turn that on, a little textured, got our cycles, right? Got our little textured bits and bobs that we made last week, so that's pretty cool. That's really simple stuff. So let's hide those guys, and let's just make some more of this kind of stuff. So actually, I just want to go back to, what did I have for these guys? I probably got these bits of wall that I can use. Maybe anyway, whatever. We'll just see where we get to with like kind of some modeling stuff. So I think once again, it's nice to do a bit of modeling and, you know, keep showing that process and everyone kind of like getting comfortable with that. So yeah, let's just start with a cube. All right, and try and block out these things. As quickly as possibly. And we had, you know, in that initial 3D coat, you know, sculpted, it feels like ages ago. Probably was ages ago. Yeah, we had like some kind of circular elements in here, so let's maybe add some of those in, but just keeping it a bit more low poly, because it was like killing the scene with all that 3D coat stuff, which once again, like I was telling you guys, if we were doing like a close-in shot, like that'd be kind of fine. There's like another stream that I'm doing just for CDW students, and we're doing like a bit more of this ancient temple close-in thing, and I've kept using the 3D coat stuff, and it looks really cool, and it's not like too crazy on the render and things, so it will work. Like the 3D coat stuff can be really good. It's just when you have these like really sort of like further off city shots, then yeah, there's no point. You just want to keep it really low poly. So I've been watching like tons of, you know, the Ian Hubert stuff on YouTube, and yeah, just trying to like use heaps of the principles that he's sort of doing in there, yeah, which is just helping a lot, helping my workflow. learning about all those things. It's crazy how many like awesome resources there are. You know, I love that the Jad Saber Gumroad tutorial. That was like awesome. Sort of followed along with that and building up some things myself. I've got to I know that like Tim McBurney, one of our character guys, he wanted some like DAS 3D kind of things, because we're going to do an assignment where you like not make DAS 3D stuff but paint, you know, draw over DAS 3D models, because that's sort of like a, you know, a lot of that stuff, oops, let's not do it like that. A lot of that stuff sort of happens in industry where you get given kind of like, you know, 3D models where it's like, oh, the modeler did this thing and the art director's like, but this is not what I want. So can you just like redraw over this and like make it cool? So we're kind of like, we're going to give students, yeah, some of those assignments to do. Yeah, which is cool, but yeah, I'm certainly going to take that as an opportunity to do some DAS, yeah, and kind of learn that. And certainly like maybe even getting into a bit of Marvelous Designer and things as well, trying to learn all those things, doing the 3Ds. All right, just some little guys. Yeah, let's do turn X-ray off and just go Alt click and select checker, deselect, and E. No, let's go Escape, Alt E. Extrude faces along normals, and then they'll go out. Yay. All right, and then let's select all these guys in here. I just want to make like something like a little bit complicated, but not super duper crazy complicated. Let's go select all these guys. Oops. Man, I need to set up my tablet better so that it works with Blender from time to time. I definitely like when I'm doing 3D, I find it hard using the tablet, but then there's other things where like using the mouse is kind of slow. So I always think it's nice to have a bit of a combination. All right, and then I just hit S, just pull that in. Yeah, something like that. That's cool. That'll cool. That'll cool. That'll be cool enough to give us a bit of detail there, right? So we've got that guy. We've got that. All right. Let's let's make a new Shift A cylinder mesh. Cylinder. I've got to show you guys how to do like pipes and things like that, hey? That seems like that's the big thing of Blender. It's like, learn how to do pipes. Once you know how to do pipes, all your problems will be solved. All my problems are solved when I know how to do pipes. Something like that. All right, and then I've got, let's go Shift A, mesh, cube, S. All right. You can, like, if it helps you guys sometimes, what you can do is like for a temporary, you can just get new material, right? And just change it to like whatever, you know, something, just so you get a bit of separation between them, you know. Just click that one, Control L, materials. You got to do it in order though to link them. You got to click the one that doesn't have the material on it first. All right. What are we doing here? Let's do a bit of this. All right, and this one, oh, that was silly. Don't do that. Put it down there. We want to make this one kind of angled. Let's pull it out in the front a bit. All right, let's go into edit mode, hit tab. I just want to view this on the side like that. Let's just turn X-ray on. So we can do like kind of back face select. You know, you got to have the X-ray on to do that, remember? Otherwise it just selects the face that you can see. And then I just want to select the point, and we just go this one here, and then we can just go G and move that along. This, we'll just move it like this. Pop, 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 pop. Have some sort of like angled bit there, and then let's go into here, make sure we're on the front. Oops, not that. No, that's not the front. That one. All right, all right. And then let's go back to edge mode. Let's turn the X-ray off for this. Shift R, right? This you can add in. Oops. Shift R. You can add in those. What am I doing? What's going on? Shift R. No, Control R. Be useful. All right, then we can add in those edge loops and just add some of those. Control R. Add in some of these splits here. All right. And select that one, alt click next to the edge, right, and hit E, and then hit S. Whoop, 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 whoop. Uh-oh, what did I do? Aha, rookie. All right, undo. Stuffed that up, didn't I? I just moved that one. Oops, what did I do? Oh, that was maybe when I was trying to do that edge loop. That's better, anyway. Okay, let's all right, Control R. I think it was when I was clicking buttons. I don't know what buttons I was clicking, being a noob. All right, back here, and then go to alt click. All right, E S, yes. All right, it's too much. Just keep that simple. Yeah. All right, and then up here, let's just tab. Go on this one, tab. But go here, just select this face, just go Control R. I want to just add one up here, I reckon, and let's just go there and Alt, boom, and ES. Just transform that out a little bit. Just gives a bit of variation there. All right, it's looking pretty cool, and like we're almost at the components that I need. I just need one more top piece here. What do I want to do with that? All right, let's make it like a big sort of triangle thing. So let's, like, I'm just wondering whether I just sort of I might start texturing these components. I'm just drawing a little note of kind of like what I want to add at the top. Yeah. Right, just doing the world's worst little sketch. Just a reminder of what I'm going to do. Let's do some texturing, right? So remember that we can do those kind of like UV textures. Super simple. So let's make this all kind of like Egyptian stone kind of stuff going on. So if I go into looking at this, go Command M, and I think I've got textures. Where did I put them? Hey, textures. We're all good. I've got them. We're under control. All right, so we've got some textures here. View extra icon so you guys can see them. Let's stick this reference guy over here. Bradley's like, did I miss anything the last 30 minutes? Oh, you missed it all. I've finished now. Sorry, Bradley. All right. I'll maybe show you something different as well. Let me show you how you can kind of split up materials and stuff. Also, just realized I'm wearing my headphones for no actual reason. I don't really need them on. Let's take them off. I'll give my ears a rest, but no one's talking to me. So yeah, I've been in like Zoom meetings all day. So yeah, yeah. Oh, here you go, Brad. I'll show you. So yeah, I scattered trees. I did a particle system of how to create trees in Blender. So that was pretty cool. So you can watch that back after if you missed it. But yeah. And now I'm just making some more pieces here. So let's go back into here. All right, so let's start like texturing this up a little bit. Just kind of quickly. All right, let's go tab, get out of there. Let's do this one here. And what I was going to do was show you how you can combine some textures. Yeah, which would be pretty cool. So, all right, what we want to do is material. So we're just going to get rid of this. We're going to change down here to shade editor. Right, so remember we just need to add that image in. Let's go back into here, and I want it to be, you know, my Egyptian stone. So just like drag that in, drag it in, connect the color to the base color, and voila, we're done. All right, game over. We are finished. That did that because this material was linked, right? Remember how I did it? I linked the material. So remember, if you click the little 2 icon here, that'll unlink it, and then it'll be its own thing that you can edit. But whatever, we'll just keep this here for now. So I'm just going to go. What am I going to do? I'm going to go tab, and I'm going to select this whole thing. So hit L, and then we're going to go to the UV editor. UV, and let's try it. So I think if I go U and go like cube projection, this will kind of work. AS. You know what? I think I've added in the wrong one. We need to add in. Did we make a big one of those? Did I? No, I didn't. I made a big one of those, that wall brick. Okay, so we need to, like, because the scale is going to look wrong, you know, like everything else looks really good, you know, it's cool, it's textured really quick. Yeah, now let me go back to this. I think, yeah, we just want to change the color around a bit and muck around with a few things. So let's just go into Photoshop really quick. Just grab this guy here. Yeah, all right, let's do it like this. Open with Photoshop. All right. What am I going to do? Crop, and that'll just give me like heaps of extra room. Let's drag it out like this, make it black and white. Cool, easy. Let's just select there, Control Shift I, that'll inverse the selection. Copy, Control C, Control V, paste. All right, drag that over here. It's gonna like join it together, merge it. So Control E, Alt Shift. All right, Alt Shift, that'll join that there. All right, and I actually reckon I need this to be like kind of bigger. So let's do a bit of that. And drag that one. So Alt Shift, and you kind of got to make sure there's not like a little line in there. Sometimes you'll get like that. So I just normally move it like 1 pixel across the other way. Merge that down, Control E, Alt Shift click. Yeah, you can tell I do this stuff a lot. All right, let's do that. And I probably just want to make this, I'm just going to crop that. I want to make this a bit more like the other textures that we've done, you know, like the like sort of these guys here. So just a bit more of that, less sort of like a green color. So let's go Control U. Really simple. Probably just slide this around. Yeah, a bit less, you know. No, we want it there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Something like that. All right, that's a little bit better. So then I'm just going to save this out as, what's it called? Wall. I mean, we're just looking at it visually anyway. Texture 002. Hopefully that's not the same name as something else. All right, let's go back into Blender. Let's kind of get through this a bit quicker. So let's go back into the shader editor and let's change that to that one and go open, and that's changed, and it's pretty much like done. So yeah, so that's it. Yeah, that's cool. That's certainly like cool enough for what I need. All right, and it's kind of done. Whoop, it's done that one as well. And remember, we can go into cycles and just have a look. You can like sort of subdivide the surface if you want to, but remember there's no point doing that now. You can do it later, right? You can do like subdivisions all over. If you kind of go like, I've got some close-up one, you could even do them individually. Like if you got one that's closer up, then you could run the subdivision modifier over that and do it individually. So remember, there's all these like little techniques that you can do. So yeah, so that's pretty cool, right? So all right, so we've got this going, and I said what I was going to do was like separate this out a bit. So let me show you. Oh god, now I've got to remember how to do this. Let's go tab, and I want to add in some little details, right? So I just need to split this apart a little bit more. So just go Control. Let's just make sure we're kind of front on it anyway. Let's go Control R, give us an edge loop, and kind of go like, I want some extra things here, and Control R gives another, yeah, and like, let's do it like there. So it just sits underneath that little bit of texture there. Now, what I want to do is I need to, gotta remember how to do this. I want to, I can probably just, let's do, like for example, let's say it's a new material and we just go like a new material. So I'm just going to test this. So I want it to be like that, right? So we've got this material here, and then we select these guys. Let's turn X-ray on, so we're selecting all of them. Let's go, we want to have the faces, so we do that, and then we basically assign that blue material to that. Okay, so that's working. So if I then, instead of it being blue, let's go Alt Tab and then go back to here, and I wanted to add in like these guys here. Are they going to be really small? Let's go like this. Go open with Photoshop, and we just want to select like sort of. I'm just kind of mucking around with this. I don't know how it's going to go. Experimenting in the stream, cool. See, try N V. Let's just try. Save this out as JPEG. Like, let's just go like decals. One, probably get better at naming things. Alright, and if we go back to Blender, let's just do the same thing. Drop that in here, and then paste that into the color, and then let's select these faces and go U and cube projection, and yeah, we're getting there. So let's go back to here and go into UV. Oh, not that one. Go into UV editor, and we've got like cube projection, which is cool, but it's really small. So we just and then we could even go S and hit Y and make that like taller and just get them to fit, hopefully. Oh yeah, wow, amazing. But yeah, so it's like you can split up, so you can basically just be like, I've got a material for this, I've got a like image for this bit, I get an image for that bit, I get an image for this bit, and you can, yes, as you can see, very like fast and very powerful, right? It's pretty awesome. Yeah, so let's just let's go back out, let's do that. All right, so let's just do this guy here. So we just want to have, let's go back to the material shader editor. New material, we want to do, what do we want to do? Maybe one of these ones. One of these, this one here. Wall brick. Amazing. Into the base color. Yep. Let's go tab, go into the object, and like for something like this, it's really quick just to make it like a cube projection. So if we just hit L, oops, what am I doing? Where am I? What's going on? Okay, there we go. Hit L, I'll select all that. Let's go U and cube projection. And they'll kind of just project everything on there. So at least it's just on there all over, right? And then you can be more specific about the front face that you're going to kind of see. So let's go back into the UV editor over here. Keep clicking the wrong one, sorry guys. And let's go here, select that face, right? And then go U and let's make it front on because otherwise it gets skewed, right? So just hit U and project from view, right? And then you can see that we can oh, there we go. And now we're starting to get this. Yeah, cool. That's looking pretty cool. And maybe the top bit, we can just add some of those like hieroglyph type things there. So just go U, project from view, and hit A, S, G. All right, move that around there. Then we got that happening. Yay! We're like texturing this stuff up like really quick. Turn it on, see what it looks like with like a little bit of lighting. Turn on kind of cycles or whatever, and just be like, yep, that's sort of, you know, we're heading in the right direction. You know, make this like 15, whatever. Just mess around with the lighting, whatever it is you want to do. We're only just mucking around, so it doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, and then I just want to like texture this little bit here as well. So we just do it with the same kind of like wall texture, I think, for now. And then if I want to I'm looking at my reference, so if I want to like add more stuff in and be really specific about things, we could later, right? So let's just go click this one, click that one, Control L, link the materials, right? Cool. So then what I do is unlink it. Do we? No, anyway. Just go into tab. All right, and what's going on here? All right, let's go select. I don't know if this is going to change the rest of it. Did it? Should have linked maybe. Anyway, let's just go L and see what happens. We can undo this if we need to. Let's go U, cube projection. All right, and then select all of this and go S. All right, just so it's like kind of textured everywhere. You know what? Like that's kind of pretty, almost close. Let's go L, right, and let's just move it around a tiny bit, right? Something like that. Okay, that's cool. And you know, you could do the same thing where you could break up this material and everything, but let's not even bother about that just yet. Let's click off this. All right, let's go tab, shift D, escape. Do something like this, shift D, escape. Just gonna make that, move that up a little bit. All right, just make sure that this is kind of in the middle, almost-y. Let's select that guy, that guy, shift D, escape, control M for mirror, no X, Y. All right, and then click. All right, move, yay. All right, got some stuff, and then all I really have to do is just build that little kind of like roof piece that I kind of wanted to add in. Yeah, and I might go shift D. Oops, no, escape. Don't do that. Did I duplicate these? Hang on. Ooh, I did. Yeah, I think there. Okay, that one. that one, and that one. Shift D, escape. Let's just move these back in space a bit. So we're sort of creating a bit of a building here that we can, you know, do more of later. And then I just wanted to make one little sort of like roof piecey thing. So Shift A, mesh, cube, S, G, move him around. That. Apple Watch binging. Lots of important emails I'm not paying attention to. All right, now I had this. Yeah, what do I want to do here? Let's mess around with this. Let's go tab. Make it front on. All right, let's make it X-ray mode, and select these edges. This one, and then I want to do that. Yeah, that's what I want to do. All right. And then what I might do here is this face here. Oops, turn off X-ray mode. That one. This guy. Right click. Subdivide. No, what I want to do is, sorry, I'm just thinking about like how I'm going to get this shape. Let's go Control R and let's add you in there, and I don't think I really showed you guys like this sort of trick yet. Let's go. Let's add in. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Shift R. Sorry, a trick, just, you know, technique. Oh, hang on. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, that one. All right. Whoops. Control R. And this guy. Yeah. What do I want to do? Something like that. Control R. And add in another one like that, and then I want to kind of make like a bit of a diagonal shape. So what I can do here is I can hit K, and we can like use the knife tool, and kind of, you can pretty much draw whatever you want in like, yeah, any edge loops you want. So I just go from point to point, hit enter, that'll add one there, and then I go K and point to point, and oops, I think that went a bit skew. If K just on that point there, hit enter. All right. Yeah, and then basically what I want to do here is just pull out some of these faces. Let's see how we go. This one, let's grab that. Let's do a bit of that. Yeah, and I just wanted to get some sort of like interesting kind of shape in here. That's cool. Yeah, I think that will kind of do for what I want. All right, and then that's it really. So for that little guy there, so let's hit tab. Yeah, just sort of making like a bit of a Egyptian style, you know, entrance area thingy, majingy. Yep. Just looking at the reference though. So yeah, and then let's just texture this up really quick. So new material. Actually, you know what? Let's just link it to that other one because I think that'll be totally fine. Just this one here. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this one. Shift. Click that one first. Shift click. Control L. Materials. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that'll do. We'll see how that looks, and then yeah, go from there. So what I'm going to do is I just want to like duplicate all of this really quick. So let's just hide the lights and the plane and the camera. That's what? Where? Oh, the sun. Sure. Right. And I'm just going to grab this, and then I'm going to go Shift D. Oops. Hit Escape. Just move it over here. So I've got kind of like a duplicate of it. Control J will merge all that together. Control J. There we go. Merge all that together. All right. And then I've got these separate pieces if I want them, and I've got these as, you know, as just a group. So then I'm just going to copy this over into my other Blender scene. So just go to here, and let's just go Control V, and there we go. All right, and that's going to paste that in that scene around the other way. Anyway, oh, rotate. Rotate. Yeah, because I wanted to have, really want to have that mix. And the other thing that I've got like some other reference kind of images and stuff for like, I was thinking, let's see if we can find this. So yeah, I kind of want to have like this scaffolding and, you know, like sort of all this kind of stuff. Like this place is all under construction, you know, the medieval guys are taking this over. So, yep. Let's just keep putting this into place here. What do I want to do here? All right, so yeah, let's just keep trying to get this into place. Oh, this is doing all that weird stuff again. So what do we need to do? We need to go Control A, rotation and scale. All right, and then it should kind of fit in. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to start moving some things around, but that's all right. We can start doing that. We got cubes in all over the place. Okay. Anyway, let's just do a really quick sort of looksy loo from the camera. Let's see. This is like not. this is not right at all. But anyway, once again, please don't crash. Like in general, yeah, like Blender's really good with, yeah, just kind of running cycles and things like that. It's more just, yeah, sometimes when I'm streaming, got like 10 billion things open and streaming and everything. So it's, yeah. We may need to do some more loving to that, but that's okay. We can do that. It's easy. It's in the other one. We can just duplicate it over. I'm more worried about like placement and stuff at the moment, I think, and yeah, and kind of like the scale and stuff. Be good to get some of those trees and things over there. And add another particle system. Can add heaps of those around. And the cool thing about the like particle systems is that what you can do is like you can click on here, like this piece of land, and yeah, you can just hide it. Oh, brain fade. I guess we just do that, right? Yeah, so just click that and then it will hide that particle system. So if you do find that you're using like, you know, loads and loads of like, yeah, plants and things, and it's just freaking out in Blender, sometimes what I'll find, it will, like when you're between like texture mode and cycles, like it'll, if you go back to this mode, it'll go kind of back there okay, but then you go turn cycles back on, with your particles on, like your trees on, and that's when it's got the possibility of crashing. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll hide all the particle systems, turn cycles back on, then unhide the particle systems, and that's when it will work fine, right? And it kind of never ever crashes when I do that. And I can have like hundreds of thousands of, you know, various trees and whatever kind of going on there. So yeah, anyway. All right, so you can do that, but let's go back into here, and yeah, no, this is cool. So I think now I just want to like keep arranging this stuff. Yeah, I think that I definitely want, let's sort of just get like a couple of these guys. Shift, let's go like Alt D, so it's just an instance of that. All right, and let's move them like over there. That's where I'm like, gee, it's just they go anywhere in space. Where are these guys? Whoa. No, that's going to keep doing that. Let's go Control A, rotation and scale. Yeah, so that's because like it's an instance is not letting me like do that. Maybe as well, maybe it will, but oh god, let's just take them like out of the collection here. And palm 2, and then let's see what happens if I still doing weird stuff anyway. All right, so let's just delete those anyway. Let's go back here and just select those two and Shift D, and I just want to like I definitely want to move these two out of the collection just so they're like not doing anything with this particle system. So oh, it's still doing that, so maybe it is. Well, Control A, all transforms, and then Control A, right click on this and set origin to center mass volume. That's doing weird stuff. We can probably figure this out, but whatever. I just wanted a couple of treats. Wonder if I just select right click set origin. Right click set origin. Yeah. Yeah. Nope, that one's still being weird. Control A, all transforms, and then so it's kind of like zeroing it out. Then Control A. No, just right click, set origin. There we go. That'll do. All right, so we've got these guys here. I reckon now if we do this, yay! Might have worked if they were like kind of instances as well, but we want to get them kind of like going into the ground. I think this is really important, this part. Oh, where's the ground? Down there. So like it's really important because I want to know like how big those kind of walls are, and I feel like as soon as I do that, everything starts kind of like relating. Does that make sense, guys? Like, you know, these start relating to that. Sorry, my 8-year-old was just calling me on Facebook. Decline. Yeah, so that really helps like start work out, you know, how big these things are, right? Does that it really changed it already, just having that in there. So I think that's kind of like super important. Excuse me. The escape. Let's just make some. I'm just making a few little duplicates of these. Alt D, escape. Right, just to have like kind of in there. Right, we're gonna kind of move this in there somewhere. That's not how it's going to be, but oh, we're in the middle of the camera. All right, let's just do a bit of a save here. Yep, and then let's go back into cycles. Just have a look. Shouldn't say quick look because it doesn't necessarily happen that quickly. But I think that's really like given a pretty good idea of that like scale. Which is good. All right, let's do some other. I kind of just want to set up like lots of these fun things today, so that we're not. I know last week it was just doing lots of moving, bricks around. I just think I'm gonna have to muck around with this texture, but anyway, that'll get there. This building's inside the building. Oh, I'm gonna do all of the moving, and I'll probably have to hide lots of things so that that's like easy. Anyways. We'll do that. Okay, fun stuff. Let's create some like volumetric fog, right? Because yeah, it really does kind of really make this stuff look very, very cool once we start getting some fog in here. So what I'm going to do is just go Shift A, cube. All right. Let's just, for the real sake of things at the start, let's just make this really big. And once again, hopefully we're not going to crash Blender here. So let's kind of have this like just cover the whole world. All right, something like that. It's kind of covering everything. So if like we go inside, we can go like. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, we're inside the cube. Right? It's pretty cool. So our little world's inside the cube now. Alright, so what am I doing here? I gotta remember what I'm doing. Fog. Let's go into materials. So should I do this zoomed out or in? It's kind of cooler if I do it inside, but no, we'll just whatever. We'll just do it like this. So I want to go into materials, add a new material, and I want this to be, instead of the principled BSDF, I want it to be a principled volume, and basically like it's gonna go black. And then what we need to do down here is just start changing these kind of like density settings and stuff. So let's go like 0.005. All right, and nothing changed. Let's go into cycles. Let's hope I don't have a black box. And let's change this to 0.001. This has happened to me before. Why is it going black? The material is black. Do we need to change this? No. Ah, you know why. What a rookie. Let's change that to volume, right? Alright, that'd help. So let's change that to volume, and then basically what we've done is we've made like a crazy thick layer of fog. So let's just make that 0.05 and just keep adding zeros. 0. And the emission strength, just add some zeros, right? And you can see, like, let's go to the camera. Whoa, cool. And we're starting to add like fog into the scene. So if I, you know, kind of like take this principle and kind of muck around with it, right? So we don't, like, this is kind of like a pretty sunny day and things anyway. That's sort of what we're going for at the moment, right? So what I might want to do is kind of like zoom out here, right? And let's go back into this other mode here, right? And let's select this cube, and we want to like just kind of like shrink it all the way down and just be like, where do we want, you know, fog kind of happening? So it's kind of a bit hard to see in there, but if we go back to cycles, we can start to see that, yeah, we're just going to get like some fog in that area. And you can kind of sort of mess around with it a bit. You know, you can change the color. Yeah, we want it like a bit warmer or a bit cooler. Yeah, you can sort of like mess around with all of those things. Yeah, if we go into our camera now, you can see it's just like we're just now starting to get some fog off in the distance, right? Which is pretty cool. And you can just you know, you can add like multiple cubes in and stuff, right? So yeah, once again, let's go, like, we can sort of turn these. So we go to the particle system, we can just like turn these guys off for a sec, and then go out of here, and maybe what we can do is go like Shift D, hit escape, and then we've got like another fog guy. Oh jeez, hang it. Globe. Oh, I want it to come out here. We go S, move that down. All right, and you can add bits of fog into the like kind of areas where you might want it, which is very, very cool. So yeah, we've gone through some kind of like fancier Blender stuff today, like as in doing some particle systems, right, for your plants and things, kind of doing fog. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So you can see there, it's kind of, we're kind of out of the scene a bit here. So let's kind of move this down, move it across. And you can kind of make it any shape you want as well, and it will be fog. We just want it sitting down in there a bit. It's pretty cool. You can pretty much see it in cycles, which is pretty great. Just go back to the camera. You're like, oh yeah. Now it's adding some bits of fog in, so you can really like separate those elements. And then when you've got that kind of working, you can go click back on here and go back to your particle system, turn all that back on. Right, and then you can muck around with your lighting. You can got your cubes, you know, up in the sky. Then you can move around to create all those shadows and things. You can see at the moment, I can see the edge of that light fog, right? So you got to get a bit like creative with it. So, you know, like I might want to, let's like rotate it. You know, so it kind of like goes into the ground there. You know what I mean? You sort of, yeah, I mean, you can do whatever. You change, like, you sort of change the box a bit. Oops. Oh, I do. But yeah, there is some cool little tricks and things that you can kind of do here to get this looking pretty good. And the more elements I get in, the more it's gonna, yeah, just kind of all keep coming together. So we won't just leave this rendering here, but so basically what I need to do now is start like organizing the scene a bit. Just keep sort of building the city up and getting all these things working. You know, got to probably adjust some of these textures and stuff, and just keep going through and, you know, sort of. But once we get to this point, it's really starting to it's starting to come together and sort of being like, okay, this is kind of what the image is starting to going to kind of look like. So yeah, let's just start doing some of this. Let's grab like this and this. Not that. Move this. Sort of wanted this to go into that building, but have a bit more room there. And then now I'm going to grab that one and just move that around. Sorry, it's like kind of flickering around a bit. Yeah, just go through and put all these bits together. Let's call this one like Fog. Fog 2. Where's the other one? Over here somewhere. Let's call that one Fog 1. Yeah, and then I can hide those guys. Hide. That'll make things a little bit easier. Just kind of adding like some sort of like floor kind of details. You know, you can have all like stairs in and yeah, all sorts of stuff. Do that however you want. Sort of worried this is going to be a bit close to the water because I'm, yeah, anyway. I think it might be alright. Remember, before I go, I will show you how to set up sort of like multiple cameras so you can get like different renders out. Got this cube. Let's call this, what is this cube? Where are you? Shadow. Shadow cube. Let's hide you. Just for the time being. Have all sorts of stuff there. These guys. So like sometimes I'll have them as like particle systems and sometimes I just have them as, you know, individual elements. Just depending on what you want to do. It's always a bit tricky sort of working out where the ground is there. Anyway, you get the idea. like this guy could be a bit higher. So like I said, sort of after a while it's just sort of going through and like arranging all these bits. Just moving them around. So it's all sort of working and just adding. Always go sort of quiet when you're kind of like designing. These bits and pieces. Got to sort of like at some point you got to be like, okay, what's in the camera? Yeah, and where do I want to do things? So let's do that. Let's set up multiple cameras because that can kind of be a little bit tricky as well. So we've got this sort of like main camera here, and you kind of always got to remember I've got to turn on my fog and my cubes when you want to, you know, be looking at the render and stuff. New camera. So let's just go Shift A, camera. Let's just sort of make it a bit bigger so we can kind of see it. And yeah, I remember the other week there was, you know, kind of some nice shots like, you know, over around here somewhere. Kind of looking through. Oops, don't do that. You over here. Let's just rotate it. Rotate, rotate, rotate. And then so if I do control, so camera 1, camera 2. So if I go control 0, sometimes this is always like tricky. So now why is that not? So control 0. There we go. Control 0. So they'll like select the second camera. So and then if I remember go lock camera to view, then now I can, you know, like start navigating around wherever the heck I am. Uh-oh, I know what's going on, right? So remember you got your clipping. So we just go to the camera. Let's make it like 35mm, and let's do the clip end. We need to add some zeros. We'll be able to see everything. So yeah, where was? It's like down on here. There's like some other cool angles or whatever, right? And you can sort of, yeah, you can rotate around until you know, find stuff you like, right? And maybe there's some other image in there that you would like to, you know, kind of paint up and stuff. So that's, I don't know, got some weird funky bits in those walls. Anyway, yeah, so that's like a way that you can switch between the cameras. So yeah, so if I turn on, I don't know, this might be in fog or whatever, but let's turn the fog back on. And let's turn, what else did I have? The shadow cube. What was it? Shadow cube, that one. Yay. All right, and let's go back into, let's hit save first. Just in case. Let's hit save. And then if I go back into here. Right, yeah, so you can see, like, you can start getting different angles and stuff, right? Different views. Obviously this looks a bit crappy because we're, you know, there's fog everywhere. Maybe we need to turn that off. Fog 1, fog 2, fog 1. Let's turn you off. What happens there? Fog 2. Fog 1. Yeah, fog 1's alright. We can have fog 1 on. You get the idea. So obviously you can build out, you know, different sections and stuff, you know, for different camera views. But yeah, you get, like, you know, kind of different angles and things like that, which is really cool. So yeah, so that's what you can do as well, right? Is sort of muck around with the different cameras. Yeah, so you can also go into, another way of doing it is going like view cameras, and you have to click on the other one first. So if you want to, like, switch, I'm sure there's a, should swap. Let's see if control 0 does it swap. No, we might have to click on that other camera, click on that one, go control 0. I was always like hit and miss. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I got lock. Control 0. Okay, there you go. Maybe it's because it had a lock camera to view. Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, you kind of get the point, right? So we just gotta, like, yeah, obviously keep working on this. Still plenty to do, getting there. Sort of, yeah, these materials aren't quite working down here, a bit kind of bright and stuff, but we'll get them kind of working easy, and, you know, maybe getting some of these like hieroglyphic kind of things on here, you know, adding a bit more area of focus. And then I think next week what I might start working on is like some of the boats, you know, getting some boats, maybe a bit of a harbor, building out a bit of a harbor, getting some scaffolding and stuff, all of those things that I was talking about, getting some of that working. Sorry, just realized sort of can't quite see the camera view. Yeah, and I've got some like little 3D scan people that we can put in here as well, which I think will be pretty cool. So I'll sort of show you guys how you can do that and stuff as well. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Coming along, we're getting there. I think maybe like a couple more sessions, and then we'll be getting into like Photoshop paint mode and finishing off, and then we can move on to another project, you know, that we can live stream. So hope you enjoyed it, guys, and we'll see you next week.